Hello everyone, and now welcome to Game 3 in the series. We are all tied up at one game apiece. Between Agatha and Rudan. We see Agatha spawning as the blue human player on the bottom left-hand side of Secret Valley. Meanwhile, on the top right, we have Rudan spawning as the red night elf. Now, I am rather curious as to the opening and the styles that we're going to be seeing here in this game, just because of how different this map is than compared to the previous two. We are all tied up at one game apiece. Reprisal, if that... Well, you can't hear me, but I'll answer you anyway, since this is Game 3 in a best of 3. And apparently my daughter wanted to say hi too. Hold on a second. Say hi. Hi. Okay, say hi louder. Hi. Alright, so yes, my daughter wanted to say hi. We are all tied up at one game apiece as we move now on into game number 3. You can see Ancient of War is coming into play. It looks as though it is going to be a tavern hero, as the Ancient of War is relatively early, and we still don't see an Altar of Elders. There's the Altar of Elders finally coming into play now. Archers should start to be trained up, and it could be a Dark Ranger opening, and it could really hurt Agatha if Agatha tries to do any serious militia creeping. Now, it is going to be an Archmage opening here. Footman is now making his rounds out. You can take a look. Wisp are pretty much going to every which corner of the map to try and figure out what strategy is going to be used. Wisp now trying to run away there, as we can see a quick clear out of this 5-3-4-3 creep camp. Dark Ranger is not going to be able to really do all that much, as we are now making its way all the way over here. All right, let's see what's going to be happening. And that's going to see what's going to be happening here. The militia already being pulled back there. You can see that this Wisp is trying to get away, and a little bit of extra damage already being had as skeletal minions are being popped up all across the map right now. All right, one skeletal minion, a quick ensnare though, so a little bit of an unlucky break for Rudan, as we are now looking at, no experience given there. So Dark Ranger pretty much now out without mana, and this is actually going to end up hurting him just a bit. Archer trying to get into harm's way, and it will be able to stop this Archmage just a little bit. Meanwhile, down over here, Footmen are actually engaging the Null Brute. Not quite sure why that's happening, as the Dark Ranger now making its way back off to the north. Dark Ranger sitting at level 1. Archers gonna start firing back at that Archmage. However, I don't think that the Black Arrow should be used by that Dark Ranger right now, since, well, now it should, as you really want to use it if you are trying to actively kill a unit. Before, you were just pushing that Archmage away. As you can see, skeletal minions are now popping up. Archer doesn't even care that he's getting tapped on the shoulder, as we're now looking at some damage being thrown back here. Archer now down to 80 hit points, going to return back home. Skeletal minions could turn around, go after the Murloc Tidehunters, and the Archmage may end up trying to stick his nose into here right again to try and stop all of this. Skeletal minions all taking a little bit of poison damage, as the archers that one archer not getting poisoned. A little bit of a lucky break there once more, as we now see a fair number of skeletal minions now making their way out. All right, Footman attempting to clear out this expansion here, as we could see the skeletal minions tanking this front line. All right, the skeletal minions are going to be tanking that front line here. Archers are going to be just volleying all of those arrows, as the Ogre Warrior does fall. Dark Ranger sitting at level 2. Gonna go ahead and try and take down that Ogre Magi. You can see that the Archmage is sitting at level 2, does have Boots of Speed, but will not be able to stop any of this, as we do have also a Potion of Greater Healing already on that Dark Ranger. Alright, a little bit of extra damage. Water Elemental now in play. There you go. Tome of Strength. Is it gonna bother be picked up? No, it is not, as the Archers could perhaps turn around and start getting a little bit of damage on that one leading Footman there. No, not gonna be seeing that, as the Dark Ranger is absorbing a bit of damage. Archer now trying to run back the other way. The Archmage is going to be getting in some extra easy shots there, as the Archer runs back home and is going to heal back up. All right, the remaining army now coming across over here. Archmage figures out that, hey, I'm actually in a bad spot. Get some extra damage on some skeletal minions, but it looks like that skeletal minion is just going to end up dying to time life. Not going to give any extra experience at all. All right, Tome of Strength picked up by the Archmage. Yes, we'll see if that 25 hit point difference makes any difference, as the Dark Ranger and the Archmage are going to once again go at it. All right, here you go. Getting in some extra shots there. It looks like the Dark Ranger is not going to be able to take down that Footman unless he does go, or she does go for a chase. Not going to happen. and instead gonna be losing a little bit of life here as she tries to return back home and heals back up. All right. No boots of speed on the Dark Ranger, hence the reason why the Archmage is constantly able to keep up and deal a lot of damage to that Archmage or the Dark Ranger as they are constantly moving back and forth. However, Naga Sea Witch now being pulled out, Panda being pulled out, so 2 Tavern Heroes already out on the field. Dark Ranger is taking an absolute beating. Panda now gets in harm's way in order to allow the Dark Ranger to perhaps escape just a bit. This is not looking good though. Water Elemental now being dropped back down. Panda getting up a little bit in the front here. Water Elemental not going to be able to scoot all the way over, and I actually question Agatha's decision to try and drop a Water Elemental there. The Water Elemental, the time life on that Water Elemental is probably going to be about 1/3 gone, if not a half gone, by the time it does end up rolling around. Dark Ranger very, very low on hit points. What's going to be happening? Panda now trying to pull back. There's a Breath of Fire, and oh, that is a lot of damage. Footmen do have the fend though, as the archers accidentally run straight after that low hit point Footman there. It looks like that Dark Ranger is going to end up taking a little bit more of a beating as she flies another arrow, and now this Dark Ranger here, very low on hit point, needs to figure out how to stay alive, and while without draining all of the mana on those Moonwells. All right, Potion of Greater Healing is the answer to that. Panda needs to get off another Breath of Fire. That Panda is actually in a very, very dangerous spot. Turning around, Breath of Fire could work out well. As we can see, Breath of Fire right there. Archer taking a lot of damage. There goes another unit there. There goes another Dispel as the Riflemen are now being added. Okay, another big turnaround there. Not quite sure why Agatha actually decided to chase that far in. Ended up hurting himself even further, as we are now looking at the Archmage, Rifleman, and Naga Sea Witch trying to return back home. All right, let's take a look at this. It looked like there was the Arcane Tower attacking something. Militia now being called off to the north, as the Panda looking to get to level 2. Should be able to get to level 2 here after clearing out this Null Overseer. Nope, Dark Ranger is right there. Dark Ranger will instead get to level 3. Panda will just be shy of level 2, but he does have a Circuit of Nobility, giving him a bit more mana. Dark Ranger in a little bit of trouble right now, has a Staff of Preservation, but not that much mana. The Dark Ranger is pretty much going to be an over-glorified archer in just a little bit. 26 to 36 damage. At least it is not a piercing type damage, so the Footman cannot return that defended damage there. All right, Dark Ranger going straight after that Rifleman. Rifleman taking a lot of damage there. It looks like the Rifleman is going to try and hide into the hills here, as the Dryad, does get Abolish Magic off. Panda now gets to level 2. Archmage now gets to level 3. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, as the Rifleman now taking some damage over time. A little bit more damage there. Skeletal Minion coming back out. Panda in a little bit of trouble. Staff of Preservation. We saw that a mile away, as the Dark Minion's going to be able to finish off a number of these units here. That Rifleman, who was so low on life moments ago, able to get healed back up, but it really looks like Rudan is taking control of this game, as we are just now getting to the 8-minute 45-second mark, and Rudan is at 42 over 50 compared to 36 over 48. More Riflemen being added. Rifleman casters. Rifle casters, a strategy I have not seen used very often since the days of Reign of Chaos. We'll see how all of this unfolds here in just a moment. Meanwhile, yes, that Red Drake or Red Dragon up in the air right there, gonna attempt to take down an archer. Archers are actually having a really, really bad day out of Fountain of Health, because it is a percentage regeneration. Percentage regeneration means if you do not have a lot of hit points, well, you do not regen very quickly. Squirrel Town Portal now coming back the other way. Dryads could abolish magic. The Water Elemental, there it goes. Giving a little bit more experience back to that Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger relatively low on mana, though. Has to be very careful as the Dark Ranger now heads back to the south. Dark Ranger probably wishing she could get a Clarity Potion on her. Not going to be able to pick up one anytime soon, as the Dark Ranger finishes off another peasant. This whole entire militia call, that gambit, did not work, and Agatha pretty much has, that's right, 0 chances of being able to get back into this game. hero advantage currently belongs to Rudan. Level 3, well, actually, it's much closer in terms of heroes. Level 3 and level 2 army size is definitely in favor of Rudan right now. Rudan sitting at 48 over 50 compared to 44, but doing militia versus a Dark Ranger just not going to work out all too well. All right, here we have Druids of the Claw. We should be getting some rejuvenation down. There's one rejuvenation, Staff of Preservation. There is another rejuvenation. We could have a Staff of Preservation saving. No, we do not. It was still on cooldown. And forgot that the panda did not have one, as the archer here now headed back off to the north. Did it not maintain the rejuvenation after it teleported? Not 100% sure about that, as the Druid of the Claw now does have mastery training. They should have gone into bear form already. There you have it, but that was a little bit late there. No Staff of Preservation to save this guy. As you see, Dark Ranger now hits level 4. Panda going after the Rifleman. Bears against rifles. That just does not look like a fair fight at all, as the archers are, all of the casters are trying to run away from all of the archers here. All right, another archer gets taken down. The skeletal minion gets taken down. Another archer could get taken down as well, and the rifleman actually ripping through all of those units. It is now 44 over 54 compared to 36 over 50. Rudan is actually losing this after not managing his Druids of the Claw all that well. That's really bad news. The tech advantage definitely belongs to Rudan, but he just has not translated that into the victory yet. We are looking at perhaps more bears being added, 40 over 60. If he can make the game go long enough and actually maintain that level advantage or the tech advantage, he should be fine. But the Naga Sea Witch now sitting at level 3 and the Archmage sitting at level 3, gonna be a bit of a problem, as the Dark Ranger is just at 4 and the Panda is still just at 2. All right, Druid of the Claw now heading back here. Are we going to perhaps get some more uprooted units? All right, Staff of Preservation doesn't save a bear at all. Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. At least the units are perhaps missing their targets occasionally. That Druid of the Claw needs to go to the back line and then get a rejuvenation back on himself there. And there you have it. Whoever's running first is actually taking the most amount of damage. There's level 3 on the Panda. Panda, however, doesn't have enough mana for another Breath of Fire, which would be key at this point. This bear, very low on hit points, perhaps should go back into Druid form just so that the rejuvenation can do a little bit more magic. All right, bear still in the backfield here. Panda, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire. There it goes down. As you can see, now the priest with Dispel magic to purposely dispel all of that there. All right, we're still looking at a little bit of a fight there. Panda still has a potion of mana, still trying to fight back the other way, and Rudan doing a good job somehow getting Agatha to overcommit to any real fight. There is another mana, Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, and all of that Breath of Fire is causing so many problems. As you can see, now the Panda very, very low on hit points. Once again, Staff of Preservation saves it, as we are looking at the Dryads now fighting back once more. Riflemen, Mass Riflemen, perhaps if they can turn around and take down the Dryads there with that Focus Fire, that would be enough. All right, let's take a look at this. Bear is able to get into range. There goes a Dryad. There goes a Priest. There goes a Breath of Fire, taking on another Rifleman, and another Rifleman should bite the dust. No, it is not, as the Archmage really has no way of escaping. All right, there goes another unit there. The Dark Minions trying to take down those Riflemen could work out fairly well. We could have some Dispel magic, as we are looking at Agatha and the Naga Sea Witch. Archmage, Naga Sea Witch once again going in for that push. Panda very, very low. All right, are we going to see that Panda with the rejuvenation? Yes, we are. Right, a bear is now going to be pushing back over. Rejuvenation. There is a bit of mana on the Panda. Panda could, if he could get some more mana, another Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire combination could work out well. No Drunken Haze, Breath of Fire, just another Breath of Fire with a Roar, as the Panda now doing a little bit of chasing again. All right, no Dispel magic to remove the Roar. The Roar is doing an additional 20% damage, and here we have it, continuing the chase. All right, low hit point bear does get Staff of Preservation in time, and that means that for the next 30 seconds, units are going to be vulnerable. Low hit point bear now trying to head back. Skeletal minions somehow still staying in this fight. The Rifleman can just turn around and pop it, so to speak. Let's see if it does get taken down. Yes, there it goes. And we see that the bears are just trying to chase. Rejuvenation on a Druid of the Claw in Druid form. Or now going into bear form. Now trying to fight back here. Another Sorceress gets taken down. So this is perhaps one very, very long, drawn-out fight as unit after unit is getting destroyed. All right, slow across multiple units there, and there was, I believe, a Dispel Magic. Dark Ranger is at level 5. Level 5 Dark Ranger, those greater Dark Minions causing problems as the Dark Ranger saves another unit. That is 16 to 19 damage with 405 hit points. That is pretty much, or that I believe is stronger than a Footman there. That is how strong those Dark Minions are as another Dark Minion crawls out of the earth. All right, I think that is pretty much going to be it now. Rudan is going to take game number 3. Agatha loses game 3 here in this best of 3 series. Very strong showing by both sides. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed game 3 and this best of 3 series. Hold on. Speak into the microphone.